What's up, y'all? It's Brenks, and welcome back to the sit down. So, I know it's been a minute. I know y'all been trying to figure out, like, where's my girl at? Like, it was like April, then it was May, then it was June, it's September. It's fine. So, we back. I know you guys missed me. I missed y'all too. So, a lot of stuff has happened, like, since I've been gone. I went on vacation, then that vacation kind of just turned into, like, this long self care, self awareness type thing, but it's really, really good for the show. And so I have a lot of things I want to share with y'all. So let's just get right into it. So first, I had a vacation. And so every year, me and Bae try to go to Denver or just somewhere for like a week. If we could, I'm really like, my goal is to get to like the 2 week thing. And then like, oh, I'm finna be gone for a month. Like, y'all ain't gonna be able to reach me, but that's goals. But anyway, so we went to Denver, and so this was like our second or third time since we went. And Denver is amazing. Like if you've never been before, I implore all of y'all to go. Like it doesn't have to be necessarily Denver, just anywhere in Colorado. It's gorgeous. The mountains are amazing. So we went to Red Rock, which is like these huge mountains that reminds you of like the Lion King. And then we just did like a whole bunch of different stuff. So instead of like sleeping in the whole time. We woke up early. We kind of went walking around the neighborhood and just like exploring and just really wanted to live like locals. So we didn't stay downtown like we did the first time we went. We stayed in an Airbnb. And it was just really cool because we felt like we were legit from Denver and we like stayed in Aurora. So I was like, okay, so we from Aurora for like the next week and a half. And so while there, like we got up early, we did like some stretching. We were both doing like a gratitude challenge at that time. And so like every day we had to write down like 10 things that we were grateful for. So that day, just to like make it just more like intense and just like really spiritual and like soul connected, we, stretched and kind of just looked at each other and was like, what are some things that you're thankful for? And so it's just like a bunch of stuff. Like, and it could be like simple things like I'm thankful for the sun that warms my skin. I'm thankful for lotion that keeps me from being ashy. I'm thankful for my earrings because they keep me fly. Like just, like little stuff. And so we did that. And then after that, it just really gave me a chance to kind of just like self reflect. And so I like to write these things I call blogs. So it's like poems and a blog. So I'm just, that's my thing. I like to come up with weird names for stuff. So blogs. So I have like two blogs that I want to share with y'all while we're doing this recording. And so like one of my idols said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So if you don't like it, don't tell me. It's a lot of stuff that I want y'all to tell me in the comments. But if you don't like these, just be like, sis, I'm a double tap because I still want the double tap or the subscribe. But just it's okay on the blogs. But anyway, so I'm gonna read the first blog for y'all. Y'all let me know. So this one is called Hey, Are You Listening? And so it really just goes into like when you're doing stuff, when you're going to concerts, when you're talking to somebody, are you really in the moment? So when was the last time you were just in the moment? Oftentimes we focus on the past and the future, but not where we currently are. With doing this, we miss out on the exact time we can change things and the great things that are happening around us. So the next time you want to record the whole concert or thinking about something that happened at work while your friends or your boo is talking, stop and think, am I in the present? How can I enjoy this particular moment and recognize it with all of my senses? What does it smell like, sound like, feel like? All these things. This will create the best memory that no Snapchat video with a filter can capture. The past you cannot change and the future has not occurred, but the present is now, and it's the only moment that you're in right at that moment. And be present is the only moment you can change. So like people will tell you that you can change, you can change the past or you can change the future, and you can make steps in the present to make your future better than what it is, what your present is right now. But honestly, like just be in the moment. Like I remember songs from when I was in middle school, and I remember what my room smelled like. I remember what my hair looked like, how my skin felt, just like all these things that people are like, you really remembered all that? But like at that time, cell phones were like coming up, but it was like a Nokia with a light up battery and like some light up numbers. And like that was it. Like it wasn't like now where you have like an iPhone 20 with all these different things and you could pick up moles on your face and you could take them off and you got the face apps, you can airbrush. Like all that stuff wasn't there. So like I remember things more vividly than I do now. And so I remember going to like a Rihanna concert and I sat up there and recorded like the whole concert. I ain't looked at none of them videos or nothing. Like, I don't remember half of probably what I would have remembered if I would have just put my phone in my pocket and be like, cool, I done paid like $90 for these tickets. Me and Ree about to be right here. We about to be just steady listening. We about to listen to these songs. We about to jam out. So that's just something I just really implore y'all to do, is like the next time you're doing something at a concert or you're at a family function, is to just really engage with your family, with the artist, just like really be in the present. And like, for a really good example, weddings. Don't record people's weddings. Like, if you there, just be in the moment, because you're not going to go back and look at that video. If you take a selfie with the bride, take a selfie. But don't be sitting up here recording her walk down the aisle, her first dance with her dad, the first dance with the groom. You're not going back and looking at that stuff, and you getting in the way of like photographers and videographers. So I'm just going to say that. Thanks, management. So the next thing I want to talk about, so we already kind of touched on, I went on vacation, just had like a really good time with self-care. But now I just really want to get into kind of what happened with the whole hiatus of the episodes. So like, we had 3 episodes. It's like boom, boom, boom. They hot, they popping. We got 200 views. We got 120. And keep viewing. If your friends haven't heard about me, make sure you tell your friends about Brenks with the sit down. Tell them to subscribe, like, share, all those things. So I had some really unrealistic goals for myself when I first started this podcast. I really thought that I was going to be able to record an episode on the weekends. We were going to edit it. We're going to drop it on Wednesday. Boom. Episode 1. Next Wednesday, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. This just really isn't realistic. Like, I have a job, like a full-time job, where sometimes 40 really turns into 50 or 60, and then there's stress. So then stress kind of just trumps everything. And so that was just like really unrealistic. And I had to realize that y'all like what I'm putting out, and I appreciate y'all so much, and like just the uplifting words that y'all give me, like bomb.com, like all of y'all are great. So instead of trying to put stuff out like every week, I just had to really just stop myself and really be honest and be like, bruh, every week is not gonna work for you. Like, you're gonna have to do what works for you, your executive producer team, like your peoples. So like, y'all will be getting stuff maybe like once every 2 weeks, maybe even once every 3 weeks. It really just depends on my schedule, because I'm just booked. I'm busy. Like, I'm not even gonna say I'm not busy, but I still want to have real people coming together with these real issues and giving y'all real solutions. Like, that's my main goal. And so really going through that whole process of just being more self-aware and realizing that the goals that I had set myself are really unrealistic, I wrote another blog. So this one is like really personal to me. So if you don't like it, I really don't want you to no, I'm just playing. But y'all just give me some feedback on this one. This one is really close to me. And this one is truth is light. So whenever you're going through something, just always be honest with yourself and just take a listen. Tell me what you guys think. The most important person to be honest with is yourself. You ever feel like you're the most optimistic person in your friend group? No, well, maybe you're super optimistic and people think that you live in a fantasy world and have a hard time with grasping reality. The truth is, this is your coping mechanism. You decide to not give the negative thoughts any power and counteract pessimistic speech with, it'll be okay, everything works for those who love the Lord. People say that all the time. Sometimes it works, maybe not for everybody. But do you ever stop and think, am I lying to myself by being so optimistic? If the answer is yes, let me help you. That optimism will drive you up a wall if you don't begin to be honest with your friends, with not your friends, not your family, but the most important person is yourself. Understand that life will have its ups and downs, and that's perfectly okay. But something shocking is that by ignoring that negative thought doesn't make it go away. You're just closing the door at that point. But even with all the optimism in the world, those problems have to be addressed. So how do you address issues? Well, you have to be honest with yourself. And it seems like really cliche and like, really? That's the only thing? But it's really important. So yes, this bothers me. Yes, I'm sad today and I don't know why. Yes, I want to stay in the house all day and do nothing. All these yeses that you want to say, but instead of saying no and glazing over them, you need to address these things. Like, don't just be like, oh, I'm just not going to worry about it. I'll be okay. Address why you feel the way that you do. So that person who was overly optimistic and not being completely honest with themselves was me. And sometimes it still is me. So my literal name means optimism. So of course I exude positivity. However, this can be hard, especially when you're not being honest with yourself. You will never be able to be honest with anyone until you're able to be honest with yourself. It's okay to have that negative thought, to cry because you're sad, and own up to just having a bad day. A lot of times we are not honest with ourselves because of fear. But what are we truly afraid of? Reaching our full potential, telling the person you love the truth and risk losing them forever, or the fear that the degrees you have are not in what you want to do for the rest of your life. By conquering these fears, the feeling of living every day in your truth is much more rewarding than staying stuck and paralyzed in fear. Take that leap and be honest with yourself, regardless of all the reasons. Whatever your reason is, regardless of, just always be honest with yourself. Always be true with yourself. This problem will get better. The job will get more manageable, or you'll quit, and that's okay. The sickness will get cured. The test will be passed, and yes, you'll find your purpose and you'll fulfill your goals. Optimism is not thinking everything is going to be okay and rainbows and flowers and cupcakes and candy and lollipops and all those things, but knowing that you will put in the work and have hard days and you will still make it. By being honest with yourself, you are waking up every day and telling yourself the truth and living your truth and using your inner light to guide and help the world. So keep pressing. Just having a moment, you guys. It happens. So I just really had to be honest with myself on a lot of things, and like stuff was going on, because my friends would be like, oh girl, we knew that you was like putting on a face for whatever. Like, we know you try to be like really optimistic, but we know when stuff is wrong with you. And of course, like my mom and my friends, and of course, Bae, like everybody knows when like something is really wrong with me. But I feel like, because I'm like, oh no, I'm optimistic. It's fine. Like, I'm not sad today. I just, I've been crying for like an hour, but I'm cool. Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci. But stuff like that happens. And like before, maybe like a couple of months ago, I'm be like, hey, turn the cameras off. Like, I don't want people all in my business. Like, I'm sitting up here crying. They be like, girl, what's wrong with you? But it's okay to cry in front of people. And like, sometimes people need to see you cry in front of them so that they have the, I guess, like the okay, or like, oh man, so I can cry too. So like now I feel like I'm validated. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I don't have to try to suck it up. Like, I can go in the bathroom and have my moment. I can go to my car and have my moment. And that's perfectly fine, because you bottle all this stuff up. Like, stuff will start coming out in different ways, and you cussing people out while you're on the highway trying to get to class. So I mean, just be real with yourself. Like, why not be real with yourself? Because you are the you-est you that you could ever be. Like Dr. Seuss said that. So I'm just like, just do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for riding with me these last couple of months, and like really, following my Instagram and subscribing to YouTube and like all these things. Like, y'all are so appreciated. But then I thought about, y'all really don't know why I started. Like, I never really told y'all, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to start to sit down with Brenks, and this is going to be this, and this. But I never really said, like, why. So, I have a couple of questions from you all, because you guys are so great. Why not answer y'all questions? So, I'm going to have my amazing executive producer to come on and ask some of these questions that you guys have sent in for the girl.